He never liked you. He never loved you. He never accepted you. He just wanted to be you. These predatory men will go above and beyond just to go and get at you. They're trying to swoon you in, manipulate you, groom you, just to tear you down, control you, and completely end your life. Never, 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 never trust a man who's immediately love bombing you from the first day. All these compliments, gifts, and whatnot, that's just manipulative tactics. So you lower your standards, lower your guard, and they can just creep in, swoon you in, and then eventually tear you down. Most men are predatory, and they do it to everyone. They do it to women, they do it to children, and they even do it to other men. I think we have a down low men pandemic. I really believe that. Most men are not fully heterosexual. They're actually bisexual. I would actually argue that bisexuality is the sexual standard of most species, and that most of these men are not fully heterosexual. They're actually bisexual. These men are going to do anything they can do to try and ruin your life. They never liked you. They always hated you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel with a new video. Yes, I am back. It was a while. It took a while for me to eventually be like, okay, let me go from this camera again and just talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm also back home. I was away for a while, you know, visiting family. I was there with my grandmother who turned 95. Yes, she's still going strong and taking care of her every single evening, spending time with family to be close to her because we don't really live like around the corner. So I prefer to be with my family, with them near her and close in her, you know, proximity to be with her. My grandmother is still fighting for her life, and we're still there with her, and we're taking care of her, we're feeding her, and we're giving all of our love that we have for her towards her. She was awake for her birthday last week the entire day, which was something very magnificent to us because it was the year before on her birthday that we almost lost her due to a dementia and some sort of neurological damage. So the fact that she was wide awake the entire day for her birthday and was able to, you know, see all of us and her grandchildren, let it be known, because she's unable to verbally communicate anymore. That function is permanently gone, but she can make it known that she is with us and she's constantly looking at us. So we're very glad that she's still with us. So I was spending time with my lovely family, with my aunties and my uncles and my nephews and my cousins, you know. So I was just with family. I was just with the good side of the family, that is, the good side of the family. So I was away for a while and I was mainly just uploading on TikTok. But I wanted to be like, you know, let's just come back here and spiel my spiel and do all these things because we have some new tea to talk about. And what I always wanted to actually refer to, especially for us gay neurodivergent men, is attractiveness. Even though if you're attractive and whatnot, you can still experience, you know, a lot of bullshit, because we have a bunch of these neurotypical men who are in the closet, who are on the down low, who are preying onto us just because, you know, they want to fuck, they want to smash. That's actually it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have listened to all of my videos about conventionally attractive neurodivergent men and what I think about that and that entire situation. Y'all have also seen the video I made about clavicular, which is doing well for 50 minutes in. Kind of interesting, but okay. Yeah, we're going to dive deeper into down low men, narcissistic men, and I'm going to use multiple references. I'm going to talk about the Wizardliz situation because that's very trending right now, so I'm going to use that as a reference point, and we're going to talk about how to actually protect yourself from these types of men. So let's get into the video. Down low men, for people who don't know, down low men are actually sexually confused men who are having sexual activities with other men, but being promiscuous about it and not open about it. Meanwhile, they are also having relationships with women. So it's not the same as like being bisexual. It's actually being sexually confused and you're not being open and honest about what you truly want in your sexual life. And most importantly is that they oftentimes prey upon both men and women to actually get what they want sexually and appear socially sophisticated in order to get what they want. Down low men oftentimes target more feminine looking men because they think that they're easier to play with. They're targeting young gay men in order to experiment and tool with. They target young vulnerable women. They target successful women. They target women who are in the attractive lane. Actually, no one is safe from a down low man. Anyone can get it from a down low man, and that's what is most disturbing, because however you twist and turn, you think these men are straight? Nah, they're not. You think that, but they're not. Most of them are on the down low. So we're going to talk about how to spot a down low man. So we're first going to get into examples of a down low man. We're going to talk about the Wizardliz. We're going to talk about a bunch of these things, and also my experiences with down low men, and then we're going to get into the signs of a down low man. Now, we all know the Wizardliz and that situation with Landon. I think his name is Landon or something. Came together, I think, somewhere in 2025, and we saw all these videos with them together, and she was just all over the place, like, I found my man, I found my husband, my man, she was in it. And Landon, if we looked at Landon, he was kind of like a dork, a goof. And we thought, okay, what is like a bad bitch like Liz doing with someone like Landon? Because it's like, it's kind of like weird and strange. But okay, maybe it's not necessarily about looks. Maybe it's about what he can provide. Maybe he has a good character. He is masculine. He has, money and status. And we don't know. Then she became pregnant with him, and then he decided to cheat on her with a bunch of other women. And that escalated into almost like a breakup. And then they did break up because more women came forward that, he did the same shit to them. And then most importantly, the baby arrived, but the baby was born in the US, and Liz is a European, because I know she's Belgian, and she was not able to get her child. And that was really disturbing to see a distraught mother not being able to get her child back from a country the child should not be in. And Landon was, or still is, exploiting the fuck out of Wizardliz. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. He is exploiting the fuck out of it, and I am convinced that he hunted her down, preyed upon her, love bombed her like narcissistic men do, and completely fucked her up. That's what I am convinced about, and we're going to dive deeper into that. So from what I've been able to gather, Liz is, this famous YouTuber with millions of subscribers talking about self-esteem, self-help, spirituality, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. She's actually known for a lot of her authentic YouTube videos about, how to become confident and how to trust yourself, how to, glow up, enhance your life, doing all that stuff. She has one problematic video about how to get everyone obsessed with you. I think that now has backfired onto her. But anyways, a lot of women follow her channel, and some gay men, and they actually praise what she says. And truth be told, a lot of the things that she said, I kind of like, I agree with them. Her delivery is, quite strong and whatnot. I don't think it's that strong because she's not cussing or whatnot. She just speaks with a lot of passion in her videos. I don't think she's coming across as like rude or anything. I don't feel that way. I just think that she talks with a lot of passion, and it does really fit her appearance, because you wouldn't expect that coming from her, how she looks. But yeah, Landon is a Twitch streamer or a YouTuber, and he makes YouTube videos and gaming videos and whatnot. He's like just a typical YouTube gamer and doing all that stuff. How they came together, I found it really strange, but okay, fine. But the main situation is that I don't want to get deeper into like what happened, because you can see a bunch of these videos. I want to talk about the psychological dynamics that we can see in between how men like Landon prey onto women like Liz. And there are even speculations that Landon even tried to hit onto Liz's brother. So there's a hint of either being secretly in the closet, like many people assume or think, or him being bisexual, which I think, like, still I keep on saying most men are bisexual. Even most people who say they are gay men, they are actually bisexual, who just lean more towards men. But okay, I think that's the situation. Landon is a narcissist. He's a narcissist, and he groomed Liz, if that's her real name, because there are also like things that her real name is Fatima. Anyways, whatever, doesn't matter. She groomed Liz in order to be with him, and that's where actually the coercive control happened. And before we actually know it, she was in a situation that only benefited him and not her, and he took advantage of that, cheated onto her, made an entire mess. But we have to to look at the pattern into things that most narcissistic men, they do that. Most predatory narcissistic men, they really target a specific prey. They literally prey onto people, and they love bomb you. They bombard you with love, affection, attention, gifts, compliments, flattery, flirting, all these things. They're mainly going to talk about your appearance. They're going to talk about all the shallow things that they can, and they're going to do this persistently. So now I'm getting into, you know, how to recognize a narcissistic man or a down low man, because he is down low. I don't care what people say, I think he's down low. They're going to persistently and constantly love bomb you based off shallow things, you know, that you're good looking, that you're beautiful, that you're, you know, attractive, blah blah blah. And then they try to shower you with gifts and money. He's going to buy you this, he's going to buy you that. This is just the love bombing stage. He's bombarding you with affection and attention to try to make you addicted to him. And that's what a lot of these down low men who are, you know, secretly, you know, sleeping with other men, but then preying upon other women do. Narcissistic men do these things, psychopathic men do these things, sociopathic men do these things, dark triad men do these things. Okay, that's all I try to say. They love bomb you, and the moment you are attached to them, they are coercively trying to control you, meaning they're trying to control how you look, they're trying to control how you dress, they're trying to control passively how you think, your beliefs and whatnot. So you begin to question yourself, or make you feel as if you're not really secure in yourself, but you can lean onto them because he's an older guy, or he's a man, he's a provider, yada yada yada. And you can actually lean onto that to feel secure in that specific area, you know what I'm saying? And that's what these men do. So that's like coercive control. He controls you as an entire being, everything you do, everything you say, everything you think, everything you feel, everything, the way that you dress, the way that you communicate, will all be determined by him, because he is coercively controlling you. And you give that power away the moment you fall for him love bombing you. And then the third thing, he is slowly degrading you. So now from the love bombing, he's all of a sudden very critical about the things that he used to love about you. Now all of a sudden he doesn't like that you're making that a lot of money. He doesn't like that you are, you know, so comfortable in your own body that you just show it off online. He doesn't like your career. He does not like you. He doesn't like you. And then he doesn't like your appearance. He thinks that you are either too thin, too fat, too tall, too short, too this, yada yada. Everything that he used to like and praise and love bomb about, he's now tearing down. Now he's tearing it all down. After he did that, he keeps on controlling you, and that's where the abuse starts. And with the abuse, it can be verbal abuse, you know, scolding at you, yelling at you, you know, verbally threatening to do things to you. Psychological abuse, gaslighting you, triangulating you with other people, or, you know, manipulating other people to be against you, tarnishing your character, all these things, making you insecure. These are all psychological tricks. And then eventually physical abuse. He will put his hands onto you. But before he laid his hands onto you, he put his tongue onto you. So the moment he gives you the first hit, you won't even feel it, because you already feel dismal anyways by his words that came from his tongue. Before a man puts his hands onto you, he puts his tongue onto you. Remember that. And that's where actually the entire cycle of abuse starts. The Wizardliz situation, you can clearly tell that this man is a predator. You can clearly tell that he's a predator. He has always been a predator, especially when other women started to came out and say, you know, he also did it to me. He did even worse, and now we have the same inflammatory issues due to his abuse and whatnot. That's what these men do. That's what these men do. And this is all part of a bigger scheme. I'm now using, you know, the situation about Landon being a narcissist. In general, we can talk about down low men, because most down low men are like this. They prey upon certain people. They are, you know, not really clear with what they want sexually. They're not clear about what they actually want. They are either deep into the closet. And like I said before, I am convinced that most men are bisexual. I think most men are bisexual, but they just, you know, suppressing everything, because bisexuality is still a controversial thing to talk about amongst men. Like, you either are this or that, but most men are actually in the middle. And he's going to take that anger out onto you and control you. So he's going to fiddle and diddle with you in secret, in discreet, so he doesn't, you know, my family won't see it, people won't see it, yada yada. And then before you know it, he gets back with the wifey, but then he already had sex with you without protection in bed or like in a shady street, and then he sticks that same dick inside of the woman he's married to, and now both of y'all motherfuckers have HIV. And this is the reason why I don't agree with these statistics saying that gay men are the reason for HIV and AIDS, that kind of stuff. I think down low men are the reason for that. Are people going to psychologically dissect the difference between a gay man, a bisexual man, and a down low man? I don't think so. I think they're just going to look like, you know, if men are doing it with each other, then it's the men's fault. I completely agree and get that theory, but it's a tad more nuanced than that. There again, Liz was never the problem in this situation, but it's not about that situation. I'm talking about down low men and how they oftentimes do these things where they are playing both men and women, and most importantly is that they are secretly sleeping with other men and then bring that same sleep, if you know what I'm saying, to the woman, and now the woman is suffering from something he caught up doing it with the man. And it's just one chaotic mess all over the place. So if you know the signs of a narcissistic down low man, you can immediately nip it in a bun and then go. So I would say, you know, the signs of a down low man, you know, outside of course the narcissistic abuse cycle that I just mentioned. So we talk about, you know, love bombing, what a guy like idealization, devaluation, and then eventually discarding. We're going to talk about how you can actually know that beforehand. Truth be told, it's almost impossible to actually be like, I think that guy's on a down low. Only men who have experience with this, unfortunately, they can tell. But I would actually say that men who are in certain industries are most likely to be down low, like in the music industry, the entertainment industry, where sex is an exchangeable leverage to get onto a stage in general. My experiences with down low men, what I have experienced is that many down low men tend to be overly complimentary about your appearance, about your looks, about anything, despite identifying as straight. You can compliment a dude, okay? A heterosexual man can look at a man and be like, you know, he's a conventionally attractive dude. That's fine. But I'm talking about a persistent love bombing with comments about your appearance that just go a tad too much. It's just too much for me, you know. It's like persistent, and every single minute, you know, 30 minutes, 50 minutes or so, he's constantly saying shit about your looks and that kind of shit. Like, okay, but that's just weird. We get it now. Like, what else do you have? No, it's very primitive thinking to only keep it at looks. I think having a broad network with so-called bunch of women and rosters, you think that he's actually fucking them in that sense because that's like a cover up. I think, you know, if you can tell he has odd behaviors, like he doesn't want to be seen in public with you, he doesn't want to be seen in certain areas with you, he doesn't want you to meet his friends or anything like that. You know, these are all signs of a down low man. And we do live in a down low man pandemic. I'm going to talk about and make a video about, you know, my experiences with down low men soon, but I just wanted to make like a general video about down low men and in relationship to like the Wizardliz and with the Landon situation. So we can actually have a clear view about how down low men are and what they can do and how they move. So we definitely know that if a man is coming off too strong about your appearance and whatnot and is just showering you with gifts, like you can immediately know that he's on the down low. He's on the down low, he's a narcissist, and he only wants what's in between your legs just to experiment, just to use and abuse you, and then eventually discard of you. We know that. It's not something new. So we know that. We know that. So you don't have to, you know, be like, you know, let me test the waters. The waters have already been tested. Now it's the advice to actually get the fuck out of the waters. You know what I'm saying? So you don't necessarily have to test whether your man is on the down low by playing all these games. You can already tell. You can already tell if you just look for the signs and whatnot, especially if other men or women are telling you that this man probably is on the down low because they have experienced him on the down low. Yeah, I would actually just believe that, and don't be stupid and just believe that shit and just go along, get along and whatnot, because it's just terrible that we have a bunch of these situations with you know, down low men and getting it onto with other women and the kind of bullshit. And it's like, make it the fuck make sense. I hope this video helped about down low men, or at least brought some sort of more clarity and insight about my, you know, insight about what I think about the Wizardliz situation. I think he was on the down low and used her as a cover up. And I hope you really got something out of, you know, how to recognize a down low man. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.